Hello there, Mr. Shawn, and hello
Hi, Joy.
everybody out there in our world of perspectives with Joy and Shawn. How's that? Your new
14th name change.
perspectives? Yeah, yeah. Our 55th name change, I'll go with it. We can always still say sock talks. That still
Yeah.
sounds good.
You know.
But anyways, happy new year to you, buddy.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. So can you believe it's like the 7th already?
I know.
I know it's
I
like,
know.
oh, I'm sorry, it's a six. Sorry, pardon me. It's a
See,
six.
yeah, you got ahead of. That's okay. I did a video on Monday, and I'm like, "Happy Tuesday," and I'm like, and I didn't even realize it until somebody said Tuesday. I'm like, yeah, island time life, man. I don't know.
I know, I know. It's like what day, it's kind of like 1 minute you're like, I can't believe it's this date. Next minute it's like, why am I moving ahead of myself? Right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't need to.
Kind of
We
thing.
don't need to
So
rush it, Joy. So you got an extra day
I
back.
know,
It's only the
I
6th,
know, I know. Well, we're I want to say we're excited. It's all over the news. We're getting snow here tonight. So it's kind of like the big
and we're
thing.
not. So congratulations.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so happy new year. I hope you had a great holiday season, everybody out there. And as we said last week, the holiday season needs to be carried on. Let's just make it move forward. Can put yourself in that spirit all the time.
Yeah.
Most of you that listen to this are from the Greener Still Send Out Card community, and we have got such a perfect tool to keep carrying on the spirit of what Santa brings.
It
Right.
really is. Send out cards really is, the Santa
Yeah.
spirit. So
Yeah, it really is. It really is. So, and at the beginning of every year, we always talk about goals, setting your goals, how long they last. You hear all kinds of things out there. I'm setting my goal for this week and I'm done for the year, kind of thing, But I read something this week, Shawn, I thought was very interesting. And it talked about goals and it said to look at goals, look at the perspective of goals being actions. If you can't attach actions to those goals, then why was it even a goal to begin with? Does that make sense?
no, I think and I think we're both reading promptings, and it's the affirmations and the actions, and they have to align. If
Right.
if you could write your I am statements all day long, but if you sit on your couch and watch TV, and unless you have one, I'm watching TV 18 hours a day, there's not going to be anything. There's not going to be any change.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it is the actions. It's the little habits that we do. I heard a great quote: "Inch by inch, life is a cinch. Yard by yard, life is hard."
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's those little habits, the little actions, the discipline to do them every day. So yes, you should write your goals, but you're right. Write your goals, and maybe you write two or three. Okay, what I want to make X. Okay, well, what are the three actions that if I do daily that will help that? So maybe you
Mhm.
have here's my goal and here's my two or three actions to each one of your
Yeah.
goals.
Now, see, I look at it even a little bit differently than that, Shawn. Is
Okay.
like I say to myself, my goal is to read a chapter a day. Okay. But in my mind, I'm saying every day, my action today is to read a chapter.
Sure.
And that makes it different for me. I don't know if that's that for a lot of other people, but for me, it does by saying, okay, my action today is to do this. Another action that I have is like, promoting another business at least once a week on social media. So it's like, okay, my action today is it is now Thursday. I have not done that yet this week. So there's something for me to say action versus goal.
Well,
Even though I can have it written
it's
down there.
emotion. It's your
Yes.
emotion. An action is your emotion. I'm doing something. A goal is it's
Yes.
out. Maybe we think it's out there, or this is what I
Yes.
want to accomplish.
Exactly.
Where my
Exactly.
action is, no, this is what I do. This is what I need to do. So no,
Yeah.
you're right. No, you're right. That's a good point.
Yeah, yeah. So that just kind of makes a difference to me. And I know one things I did above my office here, I have my big bulletin board, and oh right, I probably change it like twice a year on the actions or goals that I want to do and everything. So I stripped everything off that the other day. And I don't know if you pick a word out every year, for one of your things. My word this year, I went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I chose the word courage. Courage in a lot of levels, courage to pick up the phone more, courage to, speak to that person that you're afraid to talk to about the
Okay.
business, even on the personal level, the courage to voice what's important to you. you know, whether it be in a group, whether it be with your family member. So anyway, so I've got my bulletin board up here now. My goal, I've got my letters cut out here. So I'm just going to have my courage up there. So when you look at that every day, it's just like, okay, you know, put your shoulders back. This is it. This is my word. This is the way I'm going to move forward with it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, mine is focus this year. So because what you
focus.
focus on is what you get.
Yeah,
So,
100%. And
yep.
you know, yeah, you mentioned earlier about us both reading. Promptings is definitely one of the first books I picked up here for my new year to read for the second time. You know, and isn't it amazing how when you read something the second time, you pick up different things than what you did the first time,
Oh,
or you just plain
well,
forgot about it.
you're in a different. I'm reading it and I'm like, it's funny because I started it last month and I picked it up Sunday or Monday, and I'm like, I didn't mark where I was at, so I'm like, nah, and I'm looking at okay, I'm right here, but I'm reading and I'm like, it's yes, I've read it before, but it's, you know, Cody sharing the stories all over these years. I'm like, it's like I just read this. And I'm like,
Yeah,
no, I didn't. I've just heard it so much. But you're right. You read. I mean, I think you should. I read a great quote. Instead of saying I'm going to read a book a week, you know, pick 10 or 15 books and maybe read them twice over the year. And again, and I think their point was, to your point with action, is we read a book and like, oh my God, I've got some great ideas. And then we're reading another one. Oh my God, I've got some great, and we never put what comes from the book into action.
right, right.
So yes, it's great. You know, I love to read, you know, I'm going to try to read a book a week, but I'm really going to try to put into action from those books something, and not, again, something little. It doesn't, you know, that's to transform your life. It doesn't have to be this grand thing.
Right,
It's just the
right.
little itty bitty habits that we have the courage to
Yeah.
accomplish
Yeah, yeah.
and to
Well,
do
you
every
know,
day.
I'm going to share something in the book that
Okay.
kind of caught me. We hear this all the time. We hear about the law of attraction, you know, give to give. You
Mhm.
know, don't send your cards because you want to get something from it. Send it because you want to give. You know, do it for the right reasons. You do it for the right reasons, it's going to come back with you. But this one paragraph is actually in chapter 8, actually. And it says the golden question today is whenever you're sending anything out to yourself or others through your thoughts, feelings, words, and deeds, are you sending to get or are you sending to give? Law of attraction states that if you are sending to get, then the universe gets or keeps. In other words, it will pull away from you that which you desire.
Mhm.
It says if you're sending to give, then the universe gives back. In other words, it draws you to which you desire. You know,
Absolutely. Yep.
and I kind of like, especially the part where it says, you know, the universe gets or keeps.
Well, it's a universal law. Whether
Yeah.
you want to, and I think that's how Cody starts that chat. Whether you want to believe it or not.
Yeah, he says it all the time, whether you want to believe it or not. And I can't tell you how many people I talk to in my life when I talk about the law of attraction says, whether you want to believe it or not, it's real.
Right. Listen, and
Real.
I heard this too, and it kind of doesn't. Instead of listening to yourself, talk to yourself.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So everybody that's listening to this right now, close your eyes real quick and say hello, hello, hello with
Hello,
your little
hello,
voice,
hello.
not out loud, to your
Oh,
little voice. Your little voice, say hello, hello, hello. Now say it louder to yourself. Now shout it.
hello, hello, hello.
Inside voice.
You know, I'm a literal person here, Shawn.
All
This
right,
phone
let's
gets
try
us
this
confused.
again. With your inside voice, don't say these things. You know, and so by the third time, when you're shouting it hello, hello, hello inside your head, can you do that? And I would say if everybody just, they'd all say yes. Well, then you can control your thoughts. You can control your self-talk. So instead of listening to yourself, which a lot of times is negative because that's what's coming at us, talk to yourself and talk to yourself positively. So what action am I going to take today?
Yeah.
You know, you need to post some other business today on social media. Done. Good. Okay. So
Yeah. You just brought up something else I heard recently from somebody that talks about choose a word that'll take you back, a word that'll remind you to stay positive, or a word that'll remind you to follow your actions. You just might close your eyes and say, butterfly, pick a word,
Right.
a word for yourself, that when you're straying towards the negative, it's going to bring you back.
Well, because you're talking to yourself again.
Yeah.
You're not,
Yeah.
don't listen to yourself, talk to yourself.
Mhm. That's
And
cool.
maybe
We're
inside
getting,
voice. Don't,
we're getting deep today. We're getting
I
deep
know.
today. I
Just
was even like
deposit the
losing my thoughts, like, what
1995
am I
for our
talking about?
psychology, no. But it is, I mean, it all revolves around, if you don't think you can do it, if your self-talk doesn't think you're going to do it, you're not going to do those goals or actions.
Yeah.
You're not. Yeah. If you think you can do it, you're going to do them. And they don't have to be grand. Just, if you've written your goals down, that's a plus because you've written them down.
Hmm.
Now, put some actions to each one of them, or change the word action. What can I do daily to make sure that at the end of the year I will achieve, or whatever the time frame is. So
Whatever it is. Yeah. Whatever it is. Like I know when I kind of like played with mine a little bit, I have like dailies, I have weeklies, I have monthlies, kind of a thing. And I know for me that puts things in perspective than making this whole like grandeur of a list. And it's like, some of those things I'm only going to do monthly anyway. You know what I mean? I mean,
yeah,
just kind of like,
well,
play
and I think
around.
that's why people don't stick to the resolutions, because it's the
Mhm.
one time a year where you list everything, and then in 2 weeks, that's why the gym is parking lot goes to half full in
Right.
2 weeks. So
Right.
you should
Exactly.
be working. Okay, well, that goal I did. All right, now what can I do? And that should be a evolving list, not a once a year list. And
Yeah.
I think if you do that and put some action behind it, you'll be more successful on those
Yeah.
things.
And, to carry that step even one further is, maybe for you, it's important to, on a weekly, jot down for that week, including those action steps that you wanted each week, and do the check off.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
I love
people.
writing stuff down and put lines.
I know there's a lot of people out there that gives them satisfaction too. And you know what? I have been one of those people,
Yep.
and I know in the mornings, for any kind of daily activities that I want to do, I do better when I do list them all.
Oh,
I do 100% better when I put it down on paper, even if I do it on my phone on notes and print that out, and could do the check mark when they're
yeah.
done, and to the
Well,
refer to it, throughout the day.
my last bank, we did we called it a morning huddle. Here's what we want to accomplish today. And at
Mhm.
the end of the day, hey, did we do it? Cool, we did. Next day. So it wasn't, and just like when you're with your goals, if it's I want to do 100 of something, okay, what's the time frame? And if I break
Right.
that down daily, and if it's I want to do 100 of something in a month, okay, that's 3 a day. Can you do that? I mean, even in your mind, I mean, that's
Yes.
how
Yes.
you could break the goals down and actions down, just to, again, inch by inch, life is a cinch, yard by yard, life is hard.
Life
So
is hard. That's right. Yeah. So one of my actions is, to get a little bit more on the Instagram side, on the social media. So I just threw a number out there, like I want this many followers, and I want this many followers, by a certain sum. Well, I look at that and think, oh my God, that's like twice what I have, kind of thing. What's like break it down? Break it down like each week or each day, reach out to X amount, or
yeah,
whatever you want to do, but just, make it achievable for yourself. But I
absolutely.
just, like I say, I think right from the get-go, do the wording that makes sense to you. If goals are something that are out there and you just never feel like you are even going to try to get them, change them to actions.
Yeah,
See what you can do to change it for actions and try to make it happen. So,
perfect.
okay.
All right.
Well, thank you
Well, happy
everybody
New
for
Year.
tuning in, and welcome to 2022. And it's going to be a grand year,
Yeah,
and it's going to be a
absolutely.
year where we keep playing Santa and receiving from Santa, right?
Yep. And we'll
Uh,
talk about what book we're on each week too.
yeah,
That'll be
yeah,
our accountability to each
yeah.
other.
And you're going to make us accountable now.
Yes.
What are we listening to or reading that's
Reading. Yep,
improving
absolutely.
our personal development? So, okay, everybody, have a great one. See you, Shawn.
Happy New Year. See you, Joy.
See you, New.